What is going on, guys? Back with another video. Join us now as we break down the real reason WWE is pushing Jacob Fatu so hard, why Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu is getting bigger by the week, why OBA FEMI still feels like he is not getting enough despite staying dominant, and what these weekly challenges actually mean. Because right now, WWE is clearly doing something very interesting with both men, but they are building them in two completely different ways. So let's get straight into it. Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu is getting bigger fast. Now, one of the clearest things happening on WWE television right now is that Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu no longer feels like some random short-term title defense. The second Roman accepted Jacob's challenge, the whole thing changed. This suddenly stopped feeling like a tease and started feeling like a genuine major direction coming out of WrestleMania season. And that matters because when WWE places somebody directly across from Roman Reigns in a high-profile spot, they are telling the audience that this person matters. Roman is not the kind of guy you waste on filler. He is not the kind of champion you just throw against anyone for 1 month and forget about it. So if Jacob is standing there opposite him, WWE clearly wants fans to start seeing him as a serious threat. And that is exactly why this story has started growing so quickly. The company is not treating it like background noise. It feels important. And when a feud starts feeling important this early, fans start paying closer attention. Next up, Jacob Fatu does not feel like a normal challenger, and that is the first real reason this whole thing is hitting differently. Jacob does not come across like one of those title challengers who shows up, says a few lines, gets one big segment, and then quietly disappears after the pay-per-view. He feels bigger than that already. He looks dangerous, he carries himself like somebody who believes he belongs in that spot, and he brings the kind of natural chaos that instantly raises the intensity of any segment he is in. Some wrestlers need long promos, long video packages, and weeks of setup just to convince fans they are a threat. Jacob does not really need that. The second he is there, you buy him. That is a huge advantage. And when you are putting someone opposite Roman Reigns, that kind of instant credibility matters a lot. Roman needs opponents who feel real. He needs conflict that feels dangerous. He needs challengers that make the title scene feel alive. Jacob already gives him that. Next up, the real reason WWE is pushing Jacob Fatu so hard. Now, the real reason this push feels so strong is because Jacob already has so many things working in his favor. First of all, the bloodline connection does a huge amount of the heavy lifting. The second you place Jacob near Roman, the feud already feels deeper than a normal title program. There is family tension, there is legacy, there is status, and there is already a sense of built-in drama before they have even gone that far into the story. That is a big deal, because with some wrestlers, WWE has to manufacture importance from scratch. With Jacob, some of that importance is already there. Then you add the look, the aura, the size, the intensity, and the way he comes across on screen. Jacob feels like a problem. He feels like somebody who is not just there to compete, but to wreck things, and WWE clearly sees that. That is why this push is not subtle. They are not slowly hinting that he matters. They are putting him in a major spot and letting the audience figure it out in real time. Next up, this Roman feud can make Jacob even if he loses, and this is the thing a lot of fans sometimes miss. This feud is not only about whether Jacob wins or loses, it is about what happens to his value after standing across from Roman Reigns. Because if Jacob goes into this feud looking dangerous, comes out of it still looking dangerous, and leaves the audience feeling like he belongs in the top picture, then WWE has already won. That is how you make a future main event player. Roman is one of the best names on the roster for doing that. If the company wants to use this feud to test whether Jacob can really carry that top-level pressure, then this is the perfect situation. He gets the spotlight, he gets the title connection, he gets the Roman rub, and even if he falls short, he can still walk away looking like a bigger star than when he came in. That is the kind of booking that can change someone's position on the roster very quickly. Next up, this match matters for WWE for a bigger reason. Roman Reigns needs fresh rivals. That is just the truth. Once somebody has been around the top for as long as Roman has, eventually you need a new kind of threat or the whole thing starts feeling repetitive. Fans have seen the legends, the old rivals, the repeat matchups, the familiar names cycling back around. Jacob changes the energy. He feels newer, rougher, more unstable, and that makes the whole title scene feel fresher. So this is not just about getting Roman another defense before the next big show. This is about WWE trying to create another powerful name in the process. If Jacob comes out of this feeling like a made man, then Roman's title run starts with momentum and WWE gets another serious player closer to the top. Next up, OBA FEMI keeps winning but still feels held back. Now while Jacob is getting this giant spotlight next to Roman, OBA FEMI is in a completely different situation, because every time OBA appears, he looks dominant. Every time he wrestles, he feels like a monster. He keeps beating people, keeps carrying himself like a huge deal, and now he is even offering weekly challenges. But even with all of that, there is still this weird feeling that WWE is not fully going all in on him yet, and fans can feel that. It is not that he looks weak, because he absolutely does not. It is that he looks ready for more, and yet the company still feels like it is keeping him one step away from that true breakout moment. That is why some fans are starting to feel impatient. They look at OBA and think, what else does this guy need to do? He wins, he dominates, he looks the part, so why does it still feel like WWE is holding a little back? Next up, the real reason WWE may be building OBA FEMI slowly. Now this may actually be by design. WWE has done this before with monster stars. Sometimes the slower build is not because the company does not believe in someone. Sometimes it is because they believe too much, and they do not want to waste the real breakout by rushing it. With OBA, that may be exactly what is happening. He wins, he dominates, he stays on television, and the aura keeps growing. But instead of throwing him straight into the deepest waters immediately, WWE may be waiting for the perfect rival and the perfect story to fully unleash him. That kind of slow protection can frustrate fans, but it can also be very smart if the payoff is big enough. Because once a monster fully breaks through, there is no easy way to put that genie back in the bottle. So the company may be trying to control the timing very carefully. Next up, the weekly challenges actually mean more than people think. At first glance, the weekly challenge idea just looks like a simple way to keep OBA busy, but really, it says a lot about what WWE is trying to do. They want him on television every week, they want fans seeing him dominate every week, they want the audience to get used to the image of him walking in there and smashing whoever steps up. That matters because dominance becomes part of a wrestler's identity through repetition, and it also gives WWE flexibility. One week, it is just another victim. Another week, it is somebody slightly more credible. Then, one day, a bigger name answers the challenge, and suddenly the whole thing changes. That is how a breakout feud can start from a very simple format, so these weekly challenges are not pointless. They are a holding pattern with purpose. They keep OBA strong, keep him relevant, and keep fans waiting for the day somebody finally makes one of these challenges feel like a true war. Next up, WWE may be preserving OBA for the right moment. And honestly, that could be the smartest part of all this. Sometimes fans want WWE to hit the gas immediately, but the company may be looking at OBA and thinking longer term. Jacob fits a big bloodline-related headline feud right now because that world is already hot and already tied to Roman. OBA is a different kind of project. He is not just being built for one feud. He may be being built for that one major moment when the company decides the time is finally right to position him as a top monster in a much bigger way. And if that is what they are doing, then the slower pace makes more sense. It still does not mean fans have to love it, but it does mean there is probably more logic behind it than just indecision. Next up, Jacob Fatu and OBA FEMI are being built in two completely different ways, and this is really the heart of the whole discussion. Jacob is being thrown straight into a huge spotlight. He is being put next to Roman Reigns, put into one of the biggest stories on the show, and asked to prove he belongs there right now. OBA is not being built like that. OBA is knee-built through repetition, destruction, and aura. He is not getting the giant headline feud yet. He is getting the slow monster treatment instead. So WWE clearly sees value in both men, but they are using very different strategies. Jacob is being heated up through conflict. OBA is being heated up through dominance. One is being tested immediately, the other is being protected for later. That does not necessarily mean one is above the other. It just means the company believes they each need a different road. Next up, Jacob has the bigger spot right now. If we are talking about this exact moment, then yes, Jacob Fatu probably has the bigger current position. He has Roman, he has the world title, he has the Backlash spotlight, he has the hotter immediate storyline, and that means he is getting more of the attention right now. That is just reality. If you are standing in one of the top stories on the show, you are going to feel hotter than somebody who is still building through shorter weekly segments. So from a short-term point of view, Jacob is clearly the guy with the bigger now. Next up, WWE is clearly building two future stars at once. So the real answer may be that WWE is not choosing one over the other at all. They may be building two future top names at the same time, just using very different methods. One through a huge feud, the other through controlled destruction. One through Roman Reigns, the other through weekly dominance. One feels like a major player right now, the other feels like a giant breakout waiting to happen. And if WWE gets both of these right, then the company may not just be creating one future headline star, it may be creating two. And finally, the real story is that both of these pushes matter. That is the biggest takeaway here. Jacob Fatu is getting the major feud, the major spotlight, and the Roman Reigns rub because WWE clearly sees something big in him right now. OBA FEMI is getting the weekly dominance, the challenges, and the slow build monster treatment because WWE clearly sees something big in him too. So even though fans may be arguing about who is being treated better, the truth is the company values both. They are just being built through different roads. One road is louder right now. The other road may be leading somewhere huge later. And if WWE times both of these correctly, then the company is not just pushing Jacob Fatu and managing OBA FEMI, it is quietly trying to shape the next wave of major stars in front of everybody's eyes.